G'day, I'm Matt Young for Gloucester Park, and this is the Friday night preview here at headquarters, proudly brought to you by Retrovision. Having a look at the 10 event card where we see a lot of talent leading into the summer carnival. It is all happening here at headquarters this Friday night, so get down to the park. Race number 1 is the Trotters event over the longer trip, 25.03. My numbers in the first, I've gone 8, 6, 1 and 5 on first look. Number 8, Earl of Charity, has won 6 of 7 this preparation for Clive Dalton. Has to come off the 60 metres, but in the way the standing starts have been formatted for him, it's not a big deal. He should be able to step away safely. He looks very hard to beat. He's racing the same horses as always, and with that 6 out of the last 7 in this preparation, he should be able to win this race. Number 6, Enjoy a Coldie, winner of the 2015 Trotters Cup for Nathan Turvey. Consistent horse and is racing really well, but just can't seem to get the better of this horse, Earl of Charity. Has got the advantage with a few metres up his sleeve, but Earl of Charity's got a bit of versatility on his side. So put it on top over Enjoy a Coldie, who should run a really good race. For third, number 1, Frisson. RODS has to overcome that outside start draw, but if it can step away safely, it's the only one off 10 metres, should be able to, off 20 metres I should say, should be able to work across, find the top, and does sit on pace pretty well, so should be able to hang on for a place. And for fourth, Earl Harbour, just ahead of Diamond Geezer. Earl Harbour with a bit of racing fitness on its side, and meterage just advantage with that, so I've thrown it in for fourth there. Could be one for the novelties in race 1. 8, 6, 1, 5. Pretty hard to see them rolling number 8, Earl of Charity. The second event is an MO event, and the 3 is a scratching, and a very talented mare is taking place in this race. 4, 1, 8, 10. She's never missed a place, Nuala. She's had 13 starts, 11 wins and 2 placings. She's a 4-year-old. Options with the camp, whether they go for the Golden Nugget or the Mares Classic. They have to take a choice, as the both races will be raced on the same day. I think she'd be leaning towards the Mares Classic with Bodine Boaz in the same stable, lining up the Golden Nugget. She's very talented. She's won her last 4. She's going to roll to the top here and just win. Nuala on top. 1, Racy Lacey on the track, has had 44 starts and has never won a race here at Gloucester Park and been placed 10 times. Drawn nicely for Cody Charles, should be able to hold up early, take the sit on the favourite and throw the tow rope out and try and run another placing for Racy Lacey. For third, 8, Mexicano, racing well for Steph Smith, got to overcome the wide draw, but has been racing really well and can do a little bit of work. And for fourth, number 10, Maddie White, drawn softly and should get a lovely cosy run along the pegs, the mare, and can finish in the placings, but more so for the first 4 prospects. 4, 1, 8, 10 for race number 2. Third event is the MO Mares. This is a qualifying heat of the Pro Chevalier, and we only see the small field of 9 going around, but number 1, another one who could be lining up such race as the Mares Classic, and that is Eastwood Crystal for Greg and Sky Bond. Has got the perfect draw. First up run was good behind Nuala. Second up run, not as good. She may have taken a little bit of harm from that first run. It was a pretty solid effort. She's got the draw here. Doesn't look to be much pressure in the race and does look the winner on paper. Number 1, Eastwood Crystal on top. 2, Awesome Desires. Last few runs have been decent and has got the ability to be able to drop in behind the leader with 9 across the front and no backline, and should be able to get the lovely run and finish in the placings. For third, number 5, Just Jamie, has excelled since entering Christian Hawkins' stable and should be able to press forward. Has been able to do a bit of work as of late, could be up outside the speed and stick on well for a place. And for fourth, number 3, Midget Under Fire, draws well for Craig Abercrombie and Chris Lewis. 1, 2, 5, 3, race number 3. The fourth event is the standing start, M1 or better over the longer trip. I've gone 7, 12, 1 and 3 here. We see a good battle again between 7, I'm Riddick, who followed up with a good win on grand final weekend with a good third last start, with a big effort, good second I should say last start, only beaten 3 metres and did the work in the race, which he hasn't been doing this campaign. So he's really turning over another leaf and going forward with his form this campaign. Number 12, Daniel John, a winner of the Kalgoorlie Cup 2 starts ago, loves the trip. Christy Shea jumps aboard, 20 metres to overcome. Still gives I'm Riddick the 10-metre head start. If I'm Riddick can step safely, he does look the one to beat. That's why I put him on top. Daniel John, definitely the main danger, is definitely very versatile and can do the work and will stick on really well. 1, Rock Your Baby, unlucky last start, drawn nicely, but also could be a disadvantage. One can be a little bit tricky at times from the standing start. If he can lob into a handy position, this horse has got a wonderful turn of foot and represents a good place chance. And for fourth, number 3, Firebomb. Winner 2 starts ago in lesser company, but did step really well off a back mark on that occasion. If he can repeat that and jump to the front, he could run in the money. 7, 12, 1 and 3, predominantly the form around the 7 and the 12. Race number 5 on the card. This is an M2 or better over the longer trip, 25-36, 9, 12, 7 and 4 here. I've gone 9 on top, which is Delightful Offer for Greg and Sky Bond. This horse is being perfectly aimed at the Golden Nugget, the 4-year-old. He's had 10 starts in WA, 7 wins and 1 placing, and really excelled his last preparation. He's drawn 9, has to overcome the tough draw, but he's all class and should really be winning on paper. 12 Ergo, another one for Christian Hawkins, which has excelled since entering his stable and has done really well and been racing well over all 3 distances. Over the 2500 was a good run in fast time at Kalgoorlie a few starts ago, was a winner 3 starts ago, has to overcome barrier 12, but can do a little bit of work in recent times. Don't think he can match Delightful Offer, but think he can run in the money. 7 Must Be Nice, good second last start, was a good return to form after doing the work outside of Jumbo Jet and really fought it out well. Just has a few issues with a bit of speed underneath him in the early stages. A bit of a tricky draw, but he's got the form there to continue on with it. And for fourth, number 4, Mapua Legend, who comes back to the Mobile Company, has been racing well on the stands with not much luck. Just the beginnings really hurting its chances, but in the mobile conditions, has got a little bit of gate speed, could lob handy and could be one at odds for the novelties. 9, 12, 7 and 4, race number 5, but all eyes will be on Delightful Offer's return for Greg and Sky Bond. Race number 6, the M2 to M4, over the 21:30, take out the 4 so far. This is a compelling race. We have Billy's a Star, who's won 5 from 7 with 1 placing this campaign, and he's Inters bound. He's ranked 29, so he's in the Inter Dominion at the moment. If he keeps on winning, he'll go up those rankings even higher. We have Go West Uterra, needs to break through for a win. He's ranked 46. He needs to get through with a couple of wins to be able to push himself up into contention of getting a start. And the Parade, who's a fantastic horse, who's looking at Mare's Classic form. She was a brilliant first up winner for Justin Prentice. Braden Green jumps aboard for this run. I've gone 8, 5, 12 and 6. Number 8 on top, Billy's a Star. He's really come on this preparation. He's looking a lot better in his gait. He's moving forward out the gate really well and he's doing a little bit of work. Very good performances his last 2. They were soft wins when he found the top. But tonight, or on Friday night, could be a little bit tougher. If he goes forward, he might have to do a little bit of work, but I think he's good enough in this field. Number 5, the Court Jester, thrown it in for second, more on spec, was a first up winner last campaign. Back in January when Lauren Jones drove it. The horse has got the option to go forward and could take a trail on a horse like I'm a Peregrine and get a lovely run first up of the paces on. It'll be running home nicely. So a bit of value there for the Court Jester. For third, number 12, the Parade. She's had 36 starts, 16 wins and 13 placings. On the track, 25 starts, 9 wins and 10 placings. She's missed a check 7 times in her career, and 6 of those times have been at headquarters Gloucester Park. So take that into your calculations. Tricky draw for her, but she is all class. Number 12, the Parade. And fourth, number 6, I'm a Peregrine, the Giant Killer last week. Brilliant run over the longer trip, able to work to the front. Don't think he can work to the front here in this race, but if he does, he'll be hard to beat. Throwing him in for fourth, he may have to do a fair bit of work again, and a few nice horses in the race that will be running home strongly. 8, 5, 12, 6 for me in race number 6. Race number 7 on the card. This is the race that Warren Wishart and the Inter Dominion rankings judicial system will be looking at very carefully. We have rank 49 Rocket Rain in gate 2, Red Salute ranked 38, Dynamite Dude ranked 28, rank 45 Tuapika Kahu, Smokey the Bandit unbelievably still ranked 54. We'll see how he goes in the new rankings, but he could run a good race again on Friday night. Our Blackbird ranked 32. Northview Punter ranked 26, El Machine ranked 51 and Pacific Warrior ranked 23. So it is a race where they will be watching very carefully, and we're getting down to the pointy end of the Inter Dominion rankings, so everyone will be just scratching and clawing to try and get them spot into the final. My selections here in the race, I've gone 5, 8, 1, 10. I've gone the 5 on top, Dynamite Dude. His last start second was solid enough. He did the work outside of Lover's Delight, let it get away with a little bit, but did hold his ground pretty well. Should push forward. Chardon's Rocket's trialled well recently, drawn to get a nice run. Chardon's Rocket, he's usually the workhorse. He's drawn one, so he should be able to lead, and knowing Tony Civilicic and connections, he'll be wanting to hold. So throwing him in for third. Second, thrown in the grey, Smokey the Bandit. He just needs a little bit of luck in running. He's got a tough draw to overcome. Him and our Blackbird. Wonderful turn of foot of both horses and racing really well. They just need a little bit of luck. I've thrown Smokey the Bandit in because I haven't really seen anything sprint like him in a long time at Gloucester Park. And if he gets within 6 to 9 metres of the leaders coming to the turn, they'll know he's there. He may have a card up into the race by the likes of Pacific Warrior. Pacific Warrior's just struggled this campaign so far. He might be at optimum fitness and be able to carry him into the race. So Smokey the Bandit in for second. Dynamite Dude, I think he can win the race outside the leader. He'll be able to control the race and dictate from the breeze for Chris Lewis. 8, Smokey the Bandit in for second. Just needs a little bit of luck, but he will be steaming home. 1 for third, Chardon's Rocket. Thrown him in for third. You can't leave him out. Tony's a genius, so he will find a way to resurrect this horse once again. And for fourth, number 10, Northview Punter. I've left our Blackbird out, probably going to be costly, but I've thrown in Northview Punter, who's going to be perfectly placed behind the leader. He'll love this soft run that he hasn't been receiving in recent weeks, and if he gets a crack, he'll be running home really well. Compelling affair, 5, 8, 1, 10 in the free-for-all for the night. Race number 8 on the card. This race is over the longer trip, MO to M2, 8, 1, 12, 10 for me. Gone with the 8 on top. Unbeaten on the Gloucester Park circuit, Ideal Justice. He's warming back up into peak fitness. His first couple of runs, he was involved in a no race at Pinjarra where he was used in the early stages. Then he was defeated at Pinjarra when they run in the last quarter in 26-4, and last week was a soft win leading all the way over the short course. Tough draw, Clinton Hall jumps aboard for Gary Hall Jr., who's off gallivanting in Queensland, and Ideal Justice should be able to win this race on paper. 1, Born to be an Artist, drawn well. He's a horse who probably would appreciate the mile to 2100 better. He's drawn 1 over the 2500, should lead. Whether they hold and try and hold out Ideal Justice, it could be detrimental to their chances of finishing in the placings, but has definitely got the gate speed and should hold in the early stages. For third, 12, Max Meridius. Nathan Turvey jumps aboard. Nathan Turvey's a fantastic fence driver and able to weave through the gaps. It's one of his number one features as a driver, Nathan Turvey. So if he can work through the field, Max Meridius has got a good turn of foot, and this is suitable to him for a place chance. And 10, Bagwan, who's a free roller. He's going to be behind the leader, I think, in the early stages. Could be 3 back the pegs and can finish in the placings. 8, 1, 12, 10 for me in race number 8. Race number 9, 1, 2, 4, 5 for me. Number 1, Sovereign Faith, who can come out Friday night and bounce into the rankings for the Mares Classic. She's a C7 MO. Her first 2 runs in WA have been strong behind Nawala. No Nawala here. Barrier 1, should lead, should win. Looks the best on the card, number 1, Sovereign Faith. Number 2, Where Dreams Grow for Justin Prentice. Trainer driver, should drop in behind the leader. He may even have a crack for the front in the early stages, but Sovereign Faith was very fast out last start. So I'd say that Where Dreams Grow will be behind the leader and can run into the money. 4, My Samantha Jane, returned to form with a good effort last start. Could be in the breeze or 1-1, depends on how the other Justin Prentice runner chooses to run the race. Kira Lynn with Kim Prentice to drive, and Kira Lynn was a good first up effort. My Samantha Jane in that same race, they look to be on-speed runners and find it hard for a horse like Senesilicophobia, which is drawn out in 8 and first up from a spell. Couldn't really do too much work last campaign, but we'll see. Fitness may just be against her here, but pay to watch her in this race. 1, 2, 4, 5, best of the night, Sovereign Faith. The last race, race number 10, the www.perthinterdominion.com.au pace, and this is the website you can go to for all the information on the Interdominion. We have a field of 9 engaged. It's a Pathway Series pace, 4-6-1-3 for me here. 4, Eagle Rocks, outstanding performance last start. She's another mare. She's 18 starts, 9 wins, 6 placings, and she is flying. Her last run, 157 on the breeze, 55-7, and smashed them. Now, tonight, or on Friday night, she'll be going forward. She'll look to find the top, and she should be winning this race pretty comfortably. And she will propel herself right into calculations for the Mares Classic. Kim Prentice will be tickled pink with how she is going, and he'll be really happy with the progression leading into the Group 1. Number 6, Master Jackson, disappointing last effort, but should bounce back. They did run home quite solid, and there was a nice horse in the race and Better Reward, but expected a little bit better from him to miss second. Ran third on that occasion. This race suits him to run into the money, but once again bumps into a pretty handy one. For third, one Soho Monza, second up from its let up, got the right draw, has been racing reasonably well, just pretty hard last start, and was a winner 4 starts ago. And for fourth, number 3, Hell's Kitchen, the consistent old-timer who's got a lot of gate speed, but if he can't find it to the top, may be able to finish in the top 4. It's just throwing the 1 and the 3 in there more for the novelty factor of who leads in the early stages to hand up to Eagle Rocks. 4-6-1-3 in the final event wraps up proceedings at Gloucester Park. Hopefully there's some winners there for you. Good luck and good punting.